What's shaking, Chewy Nation? ChewbaccaLemma here, back again, once again, for the results of the Snipeoff. Now, if you watched it, I hope you did. I will put a link for Part 1 and Part 2 in the description. Part 1 was on my channel, Part 2 was on TT's channel, so make sure to check out both parts before I talk about the results, which are coming right now. Alright, so hopefully you watched it. We had a very, very successful 1 hour total sniping. You guys really showed a lot of support, which is fantastic. Great feedback, and it was just a great experience. It was very close. When I say very close, looking at how much coins we made, which was way more than what we realized at the time, I would say that the results, no matter who won, we are both kind of winners because we made a lot of coins. So I'm gonna EA servers are down, so I can't even go through everything that like on the screen, which is unfortunate. But I do want to get the results out for you guys, so we're gonna put the results out. But so that's okay. But I'm gonna go through basically what I sold stuff for and my thought process and what I could have done better. I bought 46 items, so this might be a decently longer video. I'm not really sure how it will go. 46 items, me just talking. You can go ahead and tab over to another screen if you want. I don't think there will be a whole lot going on the screen besides me doing a bunch of hand signals. So yeah, that's how it is. So thank you again so much for the support. I do really appreciate it. Let's just go ahead and get it out of the way. We made. Let me just make sure I get this number right. I have it right on the screen in front of me. 255,945 coins. That's pretty good in 1 hour. Now, I will tell you that there is some cards that I had to put up multiple times before it finally sold, and we did that. We had that in the rules that we had 24 hours for it to sell. So almost 256,000 coins. What's crazy is that I didn't win. If you had told me I made 256,000 coins in an hour, I would have said I definitely won. I would also say that I hit something big, and I didn't hit anything big, which is good sign, because this means that no matter who I'm sniping against, that I will have a good chance to win, because I didn't hit anything and I still made 256,000 coins. So I'd have to say that I think my filter really did show itself to be pretty good in this, as well as his filter, of course, because he ended up winning. What was really cool about it is that my filter and his filter were so different. They were so very different, but yet we still made about the same amount of coins. I think the last number I got from him was 268, so he won by somewhere around the range of 13,000 coins. He had a Phillip Rivers sell for 34,750 coins, and I think he had another one sell for like 34,500. A card that he bought for 10,000 coins. Now, I had a couple Kawan shorts that sold for a lot as well somehow, so I guess it kind of evened out. But come on, Phillip Rivers, my Kawan shorts worth more than Phillip Rivers, but that's okay. That was a little weird, but I'm just gonna go through the cards again. We bought 46 cards, and I think he bought 60, almost 70. So we definitely made average more on the per card, but he obviously just bought so many and got a lot of good sales. So the gauntlet cards are very good to buy. Cards that sell a lot, you can really overprice them. Make sure to check out Part 1 and Part 2 to see what kind of methods we were doing. To start off, we had 3 Geno Atkins. Now, 3 Geno Atkins, just base elite Geno Atkins, I believe. We had we bought one for 8,500, one for 8,600, and one for 7,800. Now, this is pretty recent, so these prices should be pretty good, up to date. But again, this is more about the profit, not really about how much I bought it for. So again, prices are going to obviously go down as the year goes on. But we sold one for 13,000. Now, we bought a lot more than that about Geno Atkins, but these are right off the bat 13,000, and the other two for 11. So obviously there was some missed opportunity there. We could have made a few extra thousand. We know it would sell for we sold one for 13, so us selling 2 of them at 11 was a mistake. So there's 4,000 right there. So I'm going to probably go through and show you how I could have won this, because I definitely could have won. Next is I bought a ton of Kawan shorts. I have like 6 in a row. I think I ended up buying like 12 of them. And I think a couple of them one of them was milestones, but the rest were just base alternate chemistry Kawan shorts, tackle machine. Now, I bought them all for under 15,000, knowing I could sell it for 20-ish. That's what my mindset was going into it. But I did put some up for like high 20s, and they started selling, and a few of them sold. And I'm like, maybe I made a mistake, because I sold one for 19,750, another one for 19,750, 20,000, 23,000, 23,000, 27,750, 29,250. So of the 6 I bought in a row, I made a ton of coins. A couple of those I made over 10,000 on. So made a ton of coins on Kawan Short. So again, I use Mutthead as a tool. I'm like, you know what, let's go ahead and try to make... I've seen a few selling for the high 20s, and I'm like, let's go ahead and try it. And it actually did come through. I did have to put them up a few times. So again, keep that in mind as you are going through and, I don't know, deciding if you want to buy it or not. It may not be a bad idea. More popular cards are going to be better at this method, I would say. We bought a couple Haha Clinton Dicks for 7,100, sold them for almost 10. So made about 3,500 on 2 Haha Clinton Dicks. Not a whole lot. Another Geno Atkins for 8,200. Again, I made a mistake. I put it up for 11,500. I could have sold it definitely for 13, maybe even more. So mistake, another mistake there. Cameron Jordan for 4,100, 6,900. I think that was a pretty good price there. Another short. Now this is the best, one of the best hits I had. Not because of the price. I paid 12,500, but out of some miracle, somebody paid 36,500 coins for it. I put it up. I'm like, you know what? At this point, this short had not sold yet, and I'm like, I know I need to make up some coins. So I put up Kawan Short for that, and it ended up selling, which is absolutely insane. And I made over 20,000 coins on a Kawan Short. So what's really, really cool about this is that you can see that you can honestly like name your price, and if you're persistent enough, you might actually be able to sell it, which is weird, but it works. So put it up for an hour, especially if you're playing all day. I would recommend it on more common cards. Gauntlet cards work really well, or just cards that sell a decent amount. Kawan Short is probably not even that good of an example, but it worked. So if you have that opportunity to put cards up multiple times throughout the day, you're playing maybe throughout the day, and you're like, I know Geno Atkins sells for 13. You can put them up for 13, 13, 13, but maybe just try to throw in like one for 20 and see what happens, because you know what? There's really no risk. Unless you're worried that you're going to have too many cards on the auction, which could be a problem, which is really the downfall, I guess, with only having 20 auctions. But that you got to take into consideration. But I think it's a good idea. Something that we definitely both learned in this is that overpricing. We have, even the overpricing king, or he's known for the overpricing method. Me, I kind of do it, but not nearly as much as he does. Well, I think we'll say that you can overpricing to a whole new level. In our Snipeoff, definitely. We bought a Matthews. I actually have no idea what Matthews that card. Oh, Ryan Matthews, the running back, for 9,000. Sold it for 14. That was a pretty good snipe there, or decent pull there. Ty Montgomery, not a whole lot there. We made 2,900 coins on his halfback. That wasn't out of position. What was that? Was that out of position? There was his halfback. Was that a team of the week? I don't even remember. I know it's an 88 overall. So another Cameron Short for 14, sold it for 22,750. Perhaps if I was a little more persistent, I seen him sell for higher 20s. I could have got more out of Cameron Short. Again, we only lost by maybe 13,000 coins. So we could have won this. We could have. Jordy Nelson for 4, sold it for 6. Milestones Short, I bought for 26.5, sold for 32, not a whole lot there. I bought a McCourty for 21. That's the VIP McCourty. I bought for 21. I sold it for 35. So pretty good there. Yeldon for 89, 11,750. Charles, couple thousand. A few thousand, nothing really too big. Harris Jr. I made 4,100 on. Muhammad Wilkerson was one of the better ones. I bought him for 22,000 and 20,750, and I sold them both for 39,000. So with those two together, I made over 27,000 coins. So that was pretty awesome. Mario Williams for 20, sold for 33, almost 10,000 there. That was in part 2. I had a huge run of big snipes, or 10K snipes. It was awesome. Trevor Simeon, 3,000, not too much. Carlos Hyde made about 4,000 between two of them. Nothing too big. Home uniform, I made on one of the uniforms, I made almost 5,000, which was awesome. Another Cameron Short, I sold for over 10. I made over 10,000 on. I sold it for 34,000 coins. How does that make any sense? That was the That was the milestone one though, so that's a little bit better. I guess 34,000 is not too bad. I bought a Malcolm Jenkins for 25,000, sold it for 37,000. I bought a Clay Matthews, the dual chemistry milestones, for 75,000 and sold it for 106,000. So that was a 20,000 snipe there. Again in part 2. I bought another Cameron Short for 15,250, sold it for 36,500 coins. I don't know. That was the base. That was the tackle machine one. Another Cameron Short for 10,000, sold for 20,000. Marquise Lee didn't really make a whole lot there. And then a Cameron Short for 13,250 and sold it for 22,000. So there's a few things. So altogether, it added up to 256,000. If you want to see what I'm referring to, I'm going to try to put something in the description with like the actual sheet of the prices that I made, which would hopefully be useful for you guys. And maybe, I know there's not anything on the screen, so it's kind of hard maybe to just listen to me and talk about how much coins I made. But I do appreciate the feedback there. If you have any suggestions on what I could have done differently. I sold a Julius Peppers. I didn't even mention this. I sold a Julius Peppers. I made 2,500 coins. I sold it for 14,750. Could I perhaps sold that for closer to 20,000? If I could have, then what if I sold that for 20,000? Guess what? That's an extra like 5,000 coins right there. And now we're only 8. And all those Cameron Shorts I sold, I could have maybe made more on that. Geno Atkins adds up. I bought a lot of Geno Atkins. It's like, I definitely could have won this, and if I would have just... Stuff sold too fast. I had a lot of stuff. After the first hour, I think I sold about half my stuff, which is probably... when we have a full day to sell stuff, it's not exactly the best sign if everything's selling so fast. It's good, you're making your coins back, it's good, and if I was just sniping on my own, I'd be like, that's fantastic, look at all these coins I'm making. But because I knew the competition, I should have probably been a little more careful and overpriced better. So that's on me, even though I feel like I'm decent with my filter and decent making coins. I could have done better for sure. So unfortunately we lost. So I didn't do, obviously we have to do his intro. If you didn't see it, we have to do his intro for a week. I do have some gameplay going out the same day this will come out, so that would not have the intro because I made it the day before, and I actually was not sure who won. We were both not sure who won until it got closer to the 24 hours limit. I will also say that I put this in there, but there was a Kawan short that sold for, I think it was around the 35,000. That Kawan short that sold, there was one, it sold like right after 24 hours, so technically I probably wouldn't have been able to count that anyway. I went ahead and counted it because it did sell, but it actually was like 25 hours, so I kind of cheated there a little bit. So it did sell, but I was trying to throw like a Hail Mary at the end. I'm like, I need to make a lot of coins, and it actually kind of worked, but I sold, I think, 2 Quan shorts within the last like few hours for mid-30s, but it unfortunately... Well, one for almost 30, and then the other one for like 35. So, I tried to come back because I knew I needed to make up some coins, but it was not successful. So we're gonna go from this video will go out on a Friday. We're gonna go from Saturday to Friday, so that would be 7 days, Saturday and then through Friday. We will do his intro. And see how that goes. So you'll see that. I do have gameplay, like I said, that will not have the intro, because I made it when I didn't know, and I could go back and do the intro, but we'll just start on Saturday. So I think that's okay. But I appreciate the support. I appreciate you guys coming through. Make sure to check those out if you haven't already, so you kind of know what I'm talking about. And I apologize that EA servers are down, so I can't actually go through every card, but I hope that's okay. I don't know. I will also, like I said, you can just pull up what I'm referring to on the bottom and see the card. So see the names at least on the card. So thank you guys again so much for the support. That's all I got. Sorry we couldn't pull the win, but 255,000 coins. That's not that bad. ChewbaccaLemma out.